when your trainer called you, you're like, well, this is not possible. I'm not training. It's going to take so long to get there, all these things. And your initial instinct to not take the fight, the one motivating factor, what was the one thing that ticked you over and was like, okay, I'll do it?
Firstly was to not let Excellency down, because it's a big platform and a big show. Joseph Parker, Daniel Dubois, everyone was waiting for that fight. Everyone loves to see big boys. So the first thing was not let Excellence down, because I turned down already his proposal. He always proposed me something like that. The first was this Zhang, something like that. I was not ready. I said, sorry, I can't make it. And I was in the Congo as well. So this is like a second or third time, if I have a good memory. And that's the first thing. And I saw the way I spoke to him in London in the Ring Magazine show. He promised me 3 fights, and he's asking me if we favor. And the second thing was that the good money was involved in. So I said, why not? So I need the money.
Now, after he asked you the first time, you couldn't do it because, you weren't ready for Zhang. Did it stand to reason to be like, well, maybe I should stay in the gym a little bit? Maybe I should, because, fighters stay ready and you don't have to get ready.
You know what, guys? I came to give Zhang, big Zhang, his shoes. Zhang ran away, forget his shoes in Congo. I'm in Congo right now, training hard for big Zhang. And I just heard that the Zhang, he said no to the fight. And he forget his shoes. Big Zhang, come collect your shoes, man. Stop run away. I know your team is protecting you. They don't want you to get knocked out. So now I'm focused now on Aji Kabayal. Kabayal, be ready. Thank you, big thank you to IBF for giving me this big opportunity.
You catch that? Now, as you can see, this is after Martin Bakole got beat by Joseph Parker. He said that he didn't want to piss off or anger or disappoint Turki Al-Sheikh again for turning down another fight. And the first fight was Zeilei Zhang. Okay. This is February of 2025. Okay. February 23rd. Okay. And we all know what happened on the 22nd. I get Caballero, the guy that was Martin Bakole was in negotiations with, fought a guy that he claimed that ran, which is Zeilei Zhang, and he stopped him in round 6. All right. Well, in October 9th, how can you say that Zeilei Zhang ran from you, okay, when you hadn't had a fight since then until February 22nd? But then yet you claim you wasn't ready for Zhang, as you just reported to Radio Raheem on Seconds Out. See, the only way this makes sense is if at the time he wasn't ready and he was in the Congo, which he was in the Congo when they asked him to fight Joseph Parker, when he was pretty much conned into taking on the fight with Joseph Parker by his manager/trainer, Billy Nelson. Okay. So you wasn't ready for that time, but yet you said you've been training hard. So my thing is, you've either been training hard or you haven't been training at all. Because he said, I've been training hard for the Zeilei Zhang fight. Now, Zeilei Zhang has left his sneakers because he doesn't want to fight. Well, that's contradicting. Shout out to my boy Michael. You know who you are, for sending me this. And I read it before, because when he said, well, I turned down a fight with Zeilei Zhang before, okay? And I didn't want to do that again when he asked me again, because I just don't want to keep on refusing fights when His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh asks you to see if you can, fill in or schedule or replace someone. He didn't want to disappoint, which I can understand that. But at the same time, you did it because you turned down another fight for what date? That's the only thing that's saving Martin Bakole, is if there was a plan for him to fight on another date and Zeilei Zhang didn't want to fight on that date. You know what I mean? Versus, I turned down a fight with Zeilei Zhang and I didn't want to do that again. So therefore, I came in and replaced Daniel Dubois because he got sick because I didn't want to disappoint Turkey Al-Sheikh. So was it Zeilei Zhang that ducked you, or were you not ready? Because it seems to me you just wasn't ready because you said that to Radio Raheem. So you can't say that Zeilei Zhang ran and then turn around and say after you got beat by Joseph Parker, I wasn't ready for Zeilei Zhang, therefore I told Turkey Al-Sheikh that I couldn't fight. See, you can't have it both ways, people. See, the thing about media will catch you. Will catch you up in some shit that you say. Your mouth can write a check that your ass can't cash faster than you can say ass can't cash. Right? Because now it's coming to the whole forefront. To me, this is what I think. I think Martin Bakole was talking a load of shite based on the fact that he was trying to sell this idea, this narrative. You know, and narratives are already formed and made all the time. You want some? Sure. 2018, Joshua was afraid to fight Wilder. That was a narrative. Right? Another narrative. Tyson Fury cheated Deontay Wilder. That was a narrative. Another narrative. Alexander Usyk is too small for Tyson Fury. You know, things like that. Those are narratives. Right? And these narratives are created. For what purpose? To deceive you. Okay? Promote other fighters or to give you a perception of a fighter that's not really true. And it seems to me, if anybody has any other information, that's why I sent you both clips of what Bart Bakole said now or recently versus back then. Okay? So it's not adding up. They're clashing. They're like two trains on the same track. One of them got to come off, right? The ones that's false has to come off that track, you know, because it will be knocked off by the train of truth that's on the right track versus the one that's not. Okay. And I think Martin Bakole is a good fighter, but I do think he tried to sell a narrative. I think the narrative goes as follows. You said that Aget Caballo was afraid of you. You said that Zeilei Zhang ran from you. You said and you claim that they did not want to fight you and these guys are ducking me. That's a narrative. Versus now, I got beat. Now I can say that I wasn't ready for Zhang. I wasn't ready for Zhang. Therefore, okay, I didn't want to fight him, so I didn't want to disappoint Turkey Al-Sheikh, the man that asked me the first time to fight Zeilei Zhang. You see what I'm saying? So it looks very contradicting to me. I just think people should pay attention to what they say. I think let your actions speak in the ring. And that's why it's one thing to promote something, but it's another thing to tell a blatant lie too. I would rather have someone like Aget Caballo that doesn't really promote themselves, even though I would want him to. However, it's better to stay quiet and humble, you know, keep your knob down and keep cracking on and keep winning fights rather than tell lies or talk shit that's not true or just talk shit overall and lose fights. You see what I mean? Because it seems like the people that talk more are losing fights, are not winning fights. You see what I mean? Versus the people that are not really talking trash, that are kind of humble, that are just keeping it a buck, they're letting their fists talk in the ring. They're the ones that are more successful. So my question to you guys is, which one would you prefer? The quiet and the deadly, or the loud and the losing? But you guys tell me what you think of Martin Bakole seeming to contradict himself in two different situations. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch.